All right, we're officially recording. This is me going to do a pitch right now. Her name is Lori. Let's take a look at the conversation that I've had with her. It looks like she's from Iowa. And I would love to plan trips for people. I like looking different types of travel and destinations, ways for my family. All right, let's give her a call. Laura. Will she pick up? Doesn't look good.
Hello, this is Lori.
Hi, Lori.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good. I'm good.
This is Charles.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me catch up on my notes here. And I love to plan trips for people. I like looking at different types of travel and destination ways for my family and friends. So it sounds like you already kind of do this.
Oh, a little bit, but,
Right.
Not constantly, obviously.
Sure.
So, tell me what it's about.
Of course. Hold on, I just received a call. I'm denying it. You have my undivided attention. So what do you do now, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm an accountant.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And
you did put that.
help prepare income tax.
Oh, you're about ready to get busy pretty soon.
Oh, it's started already.
Hey, you know what's really fun and amazing is I'm sure you already know that come tax season and when people get their tax returns, they start vacation shopping.
Yep.
So
I do the same thing.
So it's a great way to double dip. Not only are you having a great way to prepare their taxes, get them a tax return, but you can also plan their vacation if you wanted to and make money off of that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Double dip. So do you have your own business or do you kind of like work for H&R Block and stuff like that?
I work for my daughter. She is a tax preparer.
Oh, okay. And
I'm in Las Vegas.
Right.
And so I go to the office every day, and when I'm not doing accounting, I'm doing income tax preparation. So
got it. So how
she's the licensed one in the family.
Got it. So you're basically like her kind of like paralegal kind of thing.
Yeah.
You do all the work and you prepare it for her and then she executes.
Right.
Okay. Got it. Now, how did you come across wanting to do travel then?
I've always wanted to do that. In fact, it's been many years, but when I graduated from high school, I signed up to go to airline school to do this. And then it turned out after doing more research on the airline school that my guidance counselor had recommended that it wasn't a reputable place. Maybe reputable isn't the right word, but it was one where the airlines usually hired their own people from their own schooling, and this would be a place that they would go to if they couldn't find a good fit.
Right. So it was like kind of done in-house, is it?
Right.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't do that like I was planning and instead started working, and then that's the way my life went. I never went back to pursue it, but I always loved to do it.
Sure.
So that's why.
So I did tell you that this is a 1099, right? Not a W-2. So it's not like you're going to be making an hour.
That's not a problem.
Right. So all the training's included and everything. And are you gonna need to like tell your daughter that if you can do this or not? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'd be honest with her. I mean,
no, I'm saying like, do you need to like run it by her? Is it kind of one of those things where like, hey, listen?
No.
Got it.
No.
Okay.
I don't have to get her permission if that's what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I didn't know what
no,
that.
Not at all.
Okay, I didn't know what that situation was.
And see, we live in Las Vegas in the winter time. We live here 9 months, and then we go back to Iowa for 3 months, and then come back.
That's why you have an Iowa number.
Yes.
Now, do you know people who travel and stuff like that?
Yes, I do.
Cool. All right. Do you have a piece of paper and a pen?
I've got it handy right now.
All right. So that way you can write notes. And then if you have any questions, you could always ask me as we go. And,
okay.
This could be a great fit for you. If it is, awesome. If it's not, that's okay too. No big deal. But I'm going to give you a ton of information, and then we can just go from there and see if this is a great fit for you. Now, are you okay with the idea of having your own travel agency? What do you think about that?
Yes, I would love that.
Okay. So let's get to the fine details. All right.
Yeah.
So hold on one quick second while I get my notes up, which I definitely need to do. How you liking this weather right now?
I'm ready for it to get warmer.
It's so funny because like we want it warmer, but then when it comes to Vegas, it gets hot.
Are you in Vegas?
Yes, I'm in Vegas. I'm in Henderson.
Okay. All right. We're over on the north side by Moan Mountain.
Okay.
So, yeah, I just want it not quite so chilly.
Right?
So I can sit by the swimming pool. Exactly.
Let me see here. Oh my gosh. That's not the right run. Okay. So where's the husband? Where's the hubbo?
He's retired.
Oh. And he likes it that way?
And he loves it that way.
Okay. All right. Very good. You ready? You ready to write down some notes and stuff? Okay. So what we are is where you have the ability to earn money from home as a travel agent with your own travel agency, where you can also earn your own travel credentials. Okay. And the two companies that you will be associated with is Evolution Travel and Archer Travel. Okay. Archer Travel is the travel agency. They're the ones with the license, the bonding, and they're also the ones that have the IATN number. If you don't know what an IATN is, it's short for International Association of Travel Agents Network. Okay. And so what that does, to give you an example, in order for you to get paid, you have an IATN number to operate out of through Archer Travel. So a good example of that would be, hey, my name is Lori. I got this lovely couple that's coming to Las Vegas. They want to stay at the Cosmopolitan. You call Cosmopolitan directly, and you can say, hey, my name is Lori. I'm a travel agent, and I want to make sure that I get the credit for this. And so in order and make sure that I get the credit, and of course, all across the board, no matter what company it is, they will always ask, okay, what's your travel agency and what is your IATN number? And in this case, you have one to provide one for them. That way you can get paid.
Right.
Make sense? And so Archer Travel has been in business for 66 plus years now. And it started off as a family-owned business. And, because they're the ones who's established all the contracts with the suppliers and have the relationships with them, they come at a very high reputation. And so that being said, anyone who does become part of Evolution or Archer Travel, they're then put through a certification process, so that way you can represent them well, if that makes sense, right?
Sure.
And so that's really important because right now, currently, they've been accredited since 2012 through the Better Business Bureau, and they're standing at an A+ rating. And so they intend to keep it that way. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What can you sell? You can sell cruises, flights and hotels, resorts, theme parks, show tickets, concert events, sporting events, and rental cars. That should just about cover the entire travel spectrum. So no matter what anybody wants to do, you should be able to make money off of that. And because you live in Vegas, you can also include nightclubs as well as gentlemen's strip clubs on top of that, given that, you know, this is a city that truly caters to the nightlife. So any bachelor or bachelorette parties that are coming into town, you can definitely make a lucrative income with that as well.
Okay.
All right. So what do you get paid? You get paid 80% of the travel commission. Okay. So I'm going to explain to you how that 80% works. All across the board, no matter what vendor and supplier it is, they're paying out anywhere between 10 to around 30% and anywhere in between. Okay. And so that being said, whatchamacallit? Let's say, for instance, we'll use Carnival Cruise, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Carnival Cruise pays out 30%. So just to make math easy for both of us, let's say, for instance, you have a John and Sandy. Okay. And they want to go on Carnival Cruise. Well, Carnival Cruise pays out 30% commission. And so if John and Sandy spends $1,000 to make math easy for both of us, and Carnival Cruise pays out 30%, how much would that be?
30% of 2,000.
1,000.
Oh, I thought you said 1,000 a piece.
No, just 1,000. I wanted to make the math easy for both of us.
Oh, okay. So that's $10.
No, that would be 300.
Wait a minute here.
30% of 1,000.
300.
Yep, that would be correct. So out of that 300, you make 80% of that 300. So you'd make 240 out of that 300.
240. Yeah.
Correct. So, you know, that being said, it's not a 50-50 split. You are going to make the majority lion's share of that. So in essence, you're going to take on the ownership role versus a travel agent employee. Does that make sense? So that's why you're getting the larger portion, 80%. In fact, we're right now the highest paid in travel commissions when it comes to travel agency. So if you were like a travel agent employee, you'd be getting an hourly wage with, let's say, 3 to 5% of the travel commission. So essentially you'd make anywhere between $25 to $50 for that same $1,000 booking, if that makes sense.
I see.
So now you know the difference between an employee and an owner, right? So if you're making 80%, where does the other 20% go? Well,
probably back to Archer.
Right. So 10% will go to Archer, and 10% will actually go to Nikki, my wife, the one that you saw the post from, because she's the one responsible for introducing you to this business.
Gotcha.
Okay. And vice versa for you as well. Anyone that you introduce to this business, we have a very lucrative referral program. And so if you wanted to have a team of travel agents yourself, any commissions that they earn, you too will in turn make 10% off of everything that they earn as well. Okay. Now, also with us, you will have a travel website. It would be myevolutiontravel.com Lori's Awesome Travel, Lori's Amazing Travel, or whatever it is that you want to name it. Okay. And so whatever you want to name it, it's yours. But more importantly, it's what's inside the travel website, which would be your back office. And because that back office has your certification, it has all of your travel vendors and suppliers and all the contracts that Archer Travel has established. And when I mean the suppliers, I mean just about everybody. Just to kind of give you an example, just to kind of highlight some vendors, you get Carnival, Avis, Club Med, Trafalgar, American Airlines, Viking Cruise, Princess, Royal Caribbean, Marriott, Apple Vacations, Hilton, Disney, Delta, Funjet Vacations, and the list goes on and on and on and on. So, you know, in my opinion, there's not a company that you won't have access to. You'll have access to just about everyone you want, right? And so that being said, you also have a place to keep in track of all your travel bookings as well as your travel commissions. So that way you know exactly what you're going to get paid. Okay. Now, in addition to that, you will also get travel agent perks, because you being a travel agent, you get to benefit off the perks that come along with that. And so what are the perks? Well, one, you'll be added to a discount program. It's especially handy here. It's basically the entire Savers Guide. And so if you're pretty familiar with that, well, it is what it is. And so all you have to do is just input your zip code wherever you are, whether you're here or in Iowa, no matter where it is, whoever the participating establishments are, they will populate inside your site. And so when it populates, then you can pretty much get a coupon in whatever you're planning on doing that day, such as like going out to eat, or I don't know, get an oil change or watch a movie or something like that, right? So between my wife and I, we have 4 kids. So any discount is a good discount if you ask me. So just, you know, I have a wife that doesn't cook much. So we go out and eat quite often. And so I think just on that alone, we're easily saving about $175 to $215 a month, realistically. Because, you know, we go out, eat, it'll be like buy one, get the second one free, buy one, get the second one half off, things like that, right? So it's very similar to that of Groupon. So you don't have to pay for the coupons. It's just already there. It's all included, okay? Now, you will also have an inventory of what you call fam trips, okay? Fam trips is short for familiarization trips. And so what that is for specifically for travel agents, for you to go enjoy, for the sole purpose for you to get firsthand experience as a travel agent. And the reason why is because when you have firsthand experience, it allows you to sell it a lot easier. Does that make sense? So there's a bunch of fam trips that you can take advantage of. And this is a great way for you to go on vacation and enjoy vacation stays as a travel agent without it costing you an arm and a leg. Because you and I both know traveling, it can get pretty expensive. Right? And so, of course, you also have the ability to earn free things. And I'm going to touch on that. You know how I mentioned all of those vendors? Mm-hmm. Well, all of those vendors have their own travel agent program, okay? And so that being said, like a great example would be DisneyTravelAgents.com. For you to even register for DisneyTravelAgents.com, you would have to be operating under a licensed travel agency. So with Archer Travel, you get to register for Disney and go to their training program. and you know, of course, Disney is Disney, and they're very particular about their products, right? So when you as a travel agent learn under the Disney program, well, Disney will then give you a certification themselves once it's completed and award you a Disneyland Pass +1, things like that, right? So those are some of the cool perks that you get. So if you're like a Disney fan, can be pretty exciting to just even get that, especially if you have grandkids or kids. So it's definitely helpful there. Now, the other thing is that for specific cruise lines, I don't know how you feel about cruises, but once you train under specific cruise lines, I hate to say the word free, but you will get a cruise at $0. Okay. And so you can choose between a 5-day, 10-day, or a 15-day. And, you know, it's a little bit of an extensive training program. And, you know, my wife did it in bite sizes. What I mean is, like, she did like an hour one day. I think it's like an 8 to 11 hour completion. But, you know, don't kill yourself. Just do it. Take it nice and easy. And get through the program and then get that cruise at $0. And it's pretty incredible because you can really choose between a 5-day, 10-day, 15-day, heck, even a 30-day. It's crazy. So, you know, your choices are going to be like everywhere from Alaska to Netherlands to Jamaica, Caribbean. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty wild just to be able to do that as a travel agent. So those are some significant perks, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, very much.
And then, of course, with you being an Archer travel agent, once you've earned $5,000 in travel commission, you will get your own I-attend card with your name and picture on it. And what's really cool about that is that it will get recognized globally wherever you are. So just flashing that card around, that will allow you to get a lot of like benefits and upgrades because of what you represent in the industry. Of course, you being a travel agent, just by you saying that you're a travel agent, guess what you mean? It means that you get to decide where your customers get to go. That means you get to decide if the customers are even going to go to their establishment or not. You get what I'm saying? And so these establishments always want to take care of travel agents because when they see a travel agent, it's like an unwritten kind of managerial rule or something where, you know, management should always take care of the travel agent because the travel agent means business. If you have a good experience, you know, you're going to send customers there, right? And so we've benefited off of getting upgrades plenty of times, just going into a hotel, stating that we're a travel agent, showing off the card, and they'll just give you like the manager upgrades. It's pretty cool. And it's also happened with rental cars as well. So it's pretty cool how we're able to take advantage of that. But with the highlights that I really want to point out, though, is that you'll get 75% off of Delta flights, 75% off of Hawaiian Airlines flights, as well as a number of international lines such as Malaysian Air and Korean Air. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, very much.
Especially if you're traveling. Well, you know, you fly to Iowa all the time. So, and then back to Vegas.
Right.
So, all right. So, you know, a lot of times we have a lot of travel agents. So typically when we do bring travel agents and bring travel agents on board with our fold and our program, most of the time people are beginner travel agents or amateur travel agents. And so that being said, we have an academy included in that. So that way you can learn. Basically, we're taking your beginning travel agent and turning them into an advanced true travel professional through our program, such as like what kind of questions to ask, what kind of how to gain the trust from the client, you know, going beyond just apples to apples and truly learning how to take care of your clients so that way your clients come back to you over and over and over again. Because at the end of the day, once you provide a personal service as a travel agent, you are now being a transcendent from just being just a regular person that points the finger and says, here, go to the site and then just book your own travel. You get what I'm saying? You're really truly taking care of your people. Yeah. So it's a true
word of mouth is still the best advertisement.
Absolutely. You know, that's definitely one of the best advertisements to do. And so we have the academy. So how do we train our agents? One, if you have a full-time job and you're really busy, then we have a plethora of training videos that you can access so that way you can learn at your own pace. Okay. Now, the other way of doing it is we do trainings through a program called Zoom. Zoom.us is basically a free program very similar to that of Skype that you can download via your smartphone or your computer, and then you just punch in the code that we give you. And every day there's always a travel professional that's training on how to book travel effectively and efficiently and learning how to use our vendors, our suppliers, and all of the our back office stuff. Make sense? So that way you always know what you're doing, right? And so at the end of the day, we want to fast track your learning experience. So we have tons of live training that where you can ask questions and get your questions answered as well. Okay.
Okay.
Now, beyond just, you know, having your own travel agency, I like what you said. Word of mouth advertising is one of the best ways of advertising. And we've actually gone beyond that as well. And I am 100% agreement with you. Word of mouth is so important because that provides credibility and it creates trust. Because if I do a good service for you, you're going to tell your friends and family about it. And then, of course, you're going to refer that business to me. And then, of course, as long as I take care of them, they do the same thing in turn. So absolutely, I am 100% in agreement. On top of, you know, teaching people how to book travel effectively and efficiently, we also provide marketing training as well. And so there's two types of marketing your own travel agency. One is your traditional methods, kind of like what you said, which we highly encourage. Why? Because the traditional methods are going to be business cards, word of mouth, friends and family and colleagues and people that you know, as well as like even door-to-door networking mixers. Everything that's traditional about it is most of the time face value, where, you know, you're face-to-face. And that to me is very personal, right? That's a personal way of marketing your business. Now, the other way of marketing your business is where we are today, which is the new age strategies. Where we're at today is 2019, and basically social media is a huge platform. You don't even have to leave the comfort of your own home. You are right there. And basically, you can just put Facebook. Yeah, that's right. So like Facebook posts, Facebook groups, you know, and how to set up your Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, the whole 9 yards. It's just such a powerful beast. And if you're not using social media to advertise and market your business, you are definitely going to be left behind, simply because where we're at, it's never been excuse me, it's never been easier to get the information out as fast as we have been able to today through social media platform. And so it's such a huge way of marketing your travel business. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So now, that's the whole travel site. If you have a brand new piece of paper, do me a favor. I'm going and draw a line right down the middle from top to bottom. Okay. And what that should do, it should create two columns, a left side and a right side.
Right.
Okay. I want you to headline the left side, travel agency.
Okay.
And then I want you to headline the right side, travel agent team.
Okay.
Okay. Now, travel agent team is more the referral program where it's completely optional. If you wanted to build a team of travel agents, you can. You don't have to. It's never really enforced, but it is truly an incredible way to make residual income through having partners. And I will go over that with you. But everything that I've explained to you up until this point is all on the left-hand side. So all the notes that you've written, everything falls into the left-hand side, okay?
Okay.
So it's your traditional travel agency business. It's the travel agency business with a full-on IATAN. That's where your back office is, all the travel agent perks, your video training, the academy, 80% of the travel commissions, all the vendors, the suppliers, everything. All of that is on the left-hand side because that is your traditional travel agency business, okay?
Okay.
All right. So now I'm going to jump into the right-hand side where you can actually refer the business, okay?
Okay.
So, so everything that you get up until this point, so all of that, normally it's $300. And then to continue it, it is $69.95 to have your own travel agency business. But here's the cool thing. You know, you caught my wife's ad and her Facebook post for a reason. Because there currently is a promotion that's taking place right now. And that's why the posting is going up, because it's not $300, it's 90% off the enrollment. It's $30.
Okay.
So it's actually kind of really cool to be actually able to do this at that cost, because even for myself, I didn't even get the opportunity to get it for $30. I came in for $300. So, but then again, it's made me well over what I invested, so no problem. Okay. So then I'm going to explain to you the referral program and how that works. So that way you have a full understanding on how this is a great way to eliminate that monthly $69.95. Okay. And I'm going to explain that to you. On the right-hand side, write number 3 equals executive.
Okay.
And then write number 6 equals bronze.
Okay.
Number 9 equals silver.
Okay.
15 equals gold.
Okay.
Okay. And then go ahead and write platinum after that. Okay. So here it is. This is a complete optional side. And just to kind of give you a heads up, right now, we have a little over, we're just actually not over, but we're just under 7,000 Evolution travel agents, okay, at this juncture. So even though that is a lot, it's still not that much considering how many agents that we can get in the next 5 years, right? So we're right here at just the beginning, and you would be pretty much at the top, okay? And so this is how it would work. What our founder did is he formulated a strategy to where it gives travel agency owners a legitimate way to have their own travel agency while mitigating their monthly expense, while making a residual profit, while the company makes a profit at the same time. And so it's actually a pretty amazing plan because it works. A lot of people are truly taking advantage of this, and it's never been easier. And so this is the way it is. If you hit any of those ranks on the right-hand side, you are now going to make a monthly residual check. Bottom line, that's just the way it goes. And this is the way it is. With as many agents that we have right now, each and every one of us pays the $69.95, right? And so this is what our founder did. His moniker is people over profit. And so he made a strategy in a way where people can win. So half of the $69.95 goes to the company, and the other half, he gave it right back to all the agents in a way that they can make residual income. Okay. And so basically, the share for the agents is what you call the profit share pool. So the size of the pool is like around a little over 250K at this time because of the amount of agents that we have. Okay.
Okay.
And so that being said, this is how it works. When you hit any of those ranks, this is what it is. Let's say, for instance, you bring John, Charles, and Nancy into Lori's travel agent team. Well, you're now an executive, right? So as an executive, all the executives in the company will share 13% of the profit pool.
Okay.
Okay. So the average check for an executive averages to around $52 to around $63 a month.
Okay.
So this is actually a phenomenal way to where you can mitigate your monthly expense, isn't it? Because if you're getting a monthly check for, let's say, $60 a month, but your monthly subscription is $69.95, now how much are you paying for your business? See, now it's like, now it's like Starbucks money, right?
Yep.
And then the next level is bronze. Okay. And I want to say, as an executive, it's actually a great way to mitigate your monthly costs. But check this out. When you're doing it, when you're a travel agency, typically when you book one or two things, it's going to take care of your monthly expense anyway. This is legitimately your own business. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
So now, as a bronze, that's 6 people directly in your team. And so the month, it's 14% of the profit pool.
So it sounds to me like this is more of a pyramid scheme.
Nope. Okay. So when I hear the word pyramid scheme, what does that mean?
It means you got to get these people under you to make money.
No. See, that's the thing. The word pyramid scheme, and let me clarify that. And I do agree that there are pyramid schemes out there. Okay. So the word scheme is, in a sense, what does that mean?
It's not a good thing.
Yeah, it definitely is not a good thing. And so what that means, and holy behold, there has been some very shady companies where they concentrated strictly on strictly on recruiting without an actual product, if that makes sense. So the money is paid out only through recruiting, and that is it. Right? And if they don't have a product, guess what? It is, in fact, a pyramid scheme. Does that make sense to you? And so there is a lot of what you call structures like this, and they're also known as network marketing, as well as other forms such as multi-level marketing, and in fact has been improved in many ways with very highly reputable companies. Do they work? Absolutely. It's kind of like when people say pyramid scheme, I often think like this, is that someone got food poisoning in Jack in a Box, and then them saying, hey, you know what? The whole entire burger chain are scam artists or schemes, if that makes sense. It's kind of like pissing on an entire industry because of what one restaurant did. And so I would hate for you to kind of label it as that, because I'll tell you where we are. One, again, we're at the A+ in the Better Business Bureau. Better Business Bureau. And then we're also, have you heard of a company called Expedia?
Yeah.
We are currently sitting as the top travel agency for Expedia tab. And in fact, each and every one of our conventions, Expedia comes to our conventions and gives us their absolute support, saying, we love you, Evolution and Archer Travel, because we've booked over 10.2 million in travel. Does that make sense? And so what we're doing here is a legitimized way for people to have a true home-based business booking travel. Now, again, I did mention, and the only reason I'm talking about the referral program is simply because I am not omitting it. I want to put it all on the table so you know that it's there. If you wanted to completely be on the travel agency side without referring the business, that is fully encouraged, which means you don't have to do it at all, if that makes sense. But this is my option. So it's basically it's great because at the end of the day, what we do want you to do is you're going to recommend the business. You're going to recommend our structure only if you agree, only if you love it. It's kind of like having your favorite meal. Like, hey, you tried out this amazing new restaurant and then you enjoyed it and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so good. Everybody go check this out. So we would rather have that kind of word of mouth versus feeling like you have to sell us, if that makes sense. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, so we would rather definitely have you do it as you feel fit. In fact, I have a number of agents that's been in for years, never brought in a single soul. They make plenty of money booking travel.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
And not only that, the great thing is you have, you can kind of stick out your chest knowing that you have a very reputable company that you're working with.
Okay.
Right. So at least let me go through these numbers so that way you know that it's there, but we can completely ignore the referral program. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So where did we end off? But here's the thing. Here's the way I look at it, right, Lori? Is if you get 6 people, right, and you're a bronze, all the bronzes share 14% of the profit pool. Okay? And so the average residual check just for being a bronze is going to average anywhere between $88 to about $110 a month. Legitimately. How is it being paid? It's being paid through the profit pool, right? And so this is the way I look at it. Okay? This is, in my opinion, the way I look at it. If the worst and the most challenging thing that you have to do is get 3 to 6 people, well, hell, I'm in to get a free business, if that makes sense. Why? Because when you have 6 people and if you're getting a monthly check for, let's say on the low end, $80 a month, but your monthly is $69 to run your business, well, now you're completely in the black. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does.
So that being said, like, you have a free business at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right.
I'm getting an important phone call. Can I put you on hold for just a second?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. So I have a feeling that I've lost her because she's already made up her mind saying that, this is pyramid scheme. So I'll actually be surprised if she even comes back. My guess is that she's going to come back on the line and say, I got to go. Let's see if I'm predicting this. I've been doing this too long. Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. All right.
Okay. Yep. I'm sorry. I had to get that because I keep missing them and I had to get it.
All right. No worries. Okay. So, so I would say 3 to 6 people. If that's the 6 is basically the sweet spot. That's how you get a free business. Bottom line, you have a legitimate travel agency business. Okay. So there's that. All right. So now 3 more, it's silver, which is a total of 9. And, you know, you could do this in 2 days or 2 years. Doesn't matter. Like I said, there's no quota. We don't ever push it. So at any rate, when you get there is when you get there. But when you have a total of 9, it's 20% of the profit pool. And this is actually a great way to give a piece of the company to the agents. And so through that, the average check for a silver averages to around $168 to about $220 a month. Okay. So that's what silver is. Now, a gold is going to be a different criteria. This is where we start actually looking at leadership. So out of the 15 people that you have, the criteria is it's 12% of the profit pool, but the criteria is with the 15 people, 3 of them have got to be silvers. Okay. So then when you're there, the average check for a gold is going to average around $650 to around $900 a month. Okay. In addition to that, but because you're a gold, you will now receive an additional $750 on top.
Okay.
So basically what gold is going to be worth, it can easily be around $1,300 to around $1,500 a month residually. Okay. And then also our founder, you know, being as generous as he is, how legitimate is this now? Evolution, and if there's any company that is not a legit company, they're not going to go public. Evolution is now a publicly traded company, okay? And so the stocks are at pennies right now, but nonetheless, this is what our founder did, and this is how generous he is. When you get gold, you will be awarded 20,000 shares.
Okay.
Okay. And so, you know, in the event that the shares do go up to, let's say, 50 cents or $1, obviously that can lead up to a pretty substantial amount.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. So that's basically gold. And then now the next level is platinum. That's 300 people in your organization.
Okay.
All right. My wife and I are platinums. We're entry-level platinums. And it took us 1 calendar year to get to platinum. Okay. And the question that I often get is, did you personally bring in 300 people? And the answer is a resounding no. In fact, at the time that we did hit platinum, we had 29 people directly with us. But because travel is such an attractive and sexy industry, you know what's going to happen in that time frame is that you're going to get a bunch of executives, a bunch of bronzes, and a bunch of silvers, and maybe a few gold. And before you know it, it's platinum time, right? And so basically what platinum is worth is 30% of the profit pool. And the average check for a platinum equates to around $3,200 to around $4,000 a month. Okay. And in addition to that, because you're a platinum, you receive a leadership platinum bonus of an extra $1,750. Okay. So basically what platinum is worth is a little over $5,000. Okay. And then in addition to that, from here on out, the cap has been lifted. So from here, it's 1-star platinum, 2-star platinum, 3-star platinum, and it just goes on from there. And then 3 of my friends have become 1-star platinums, and they're making just shy of $10,000 a month. And then, of course, we just hit our first 2-star platinum, and he's making just shy of $14,000 a month. Okay. But what I wanted to point out to you, Lori, is that everything that I just described to you is all on the right-hand side. Okay.
Right.
And the income that you make from that side bears no relevance to the income that you make on the left-hand side, because the left-hand side is your traditional travel agency business.
Right.
And so that is where, you're going to focus on that and, make money from that. And in fact, between my wife and I, this is all that my wife and I do. And so my wife, she does all the left-hand stuff. Nicole Lee, the initial picture that you saw of who she was on the Facebook, that's all she does. She just books travel. She books travel, she trains travel, and that's what she does, right? And me, on the other hand, I do all the right-hand side stuff. I explain the travel business model. And then if it's a good fit for them, obviously they're either going to come in or they're not. It's up to them. So that's what it is. So basically, to recap everything, you will have a full-on travel agency with an IATN number. You'll get a back office that keeps in track of all your travel bookings as well as your travel commissions. You'll get all the travel agent perks that allow you to, enjoy as a travel agent legitimately. And then, of course, video training in case you do have a full-time job, so that way you could work at your own pace. You'll get full booking training as well, so that way you know how to book travel effectively and efficiently. And then you'll get full marketing training, so that way you can always get people to inquire about travel deals. And the great thing is that because you are a travel agent, everything is a la carte. That means all those travel deals that you see online that people advertise, well, guess what? You being a travel agent with your costs, you can slap together all of those travel agent packages together yourself and then sell them. Does that make sense? So, as a travel agent, you could pretty much just do whatever you want with the vendors and the inventory that you have. And then, of course, you have a full support community. That is something that we put our foot heavy on, is even though you're in business for yourself, the bottom line is you should never do it by yourself. And so, that being said, in the event that you get stuck in a travel booking or, you hit a wall, you always have a travel professional that will always be more than happy to shoulder you to help get that booking through, right? And then, of course, the referral program that I just got done explaining, that's the right-hand side stuff. So that's entirely optional. You can do that if you want to. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. That's just there. I'm just not going to omit it. That's it. That's all I'm doing. And then, of course, one-on-one training. And what I mean by that is if you're a person that's more hands-on, that needs more individualized attention, then we will schedule an appointment with you, so that way we can do a Zoom live training, so that way you get that one-on-one attention. Okay. So yeah, that's it. That's the whole thing. It's $30 and gets you on board, and it gets you into the program. And what's really cool is that me being a platinum in the organization, I am approved and authorized. And no joke, this is not some kind of gimmicky thing. For anyone who hears about the business and they like what they hear, and if it makes sense to them, they can come on board the same day as me explaining the business. I'm approved to give you a free 3-day, 2-night stay in paradise. And basically what that is just hotel accommodations that is valued at around $350. So that's cool. That's it for you. And then, of course, no questions asked. It's yours, right? And then, of course, in addition to that, on the same token, for that extra peace of mind, if at any point or in the event that you feel like this isn't for you, then all you do is email the help desk. They close your account. No questions asked.
Okay, you said it's $30 for enrollment, and then that's $69. Where did I write that down?
Yeah, $69.95, 30 days thereafter. Correct.
And that's every 30 days.
Yeah, but then here's the thing. Get rid of it. That's all I'm saying. Just get rid of it. Because here's the thing. Okay, if you get 3 people, right, at least residually, you're going to get $52 to around $63, whatever. So at least that way you're at least mitigating the cost. The other way of going about it is let's get you that 6 people. And guess what? Because I'm the team builder, if you pique anybody's interest, all you have to do is introduce them to me. I'll set up an appointment with them. I'll explain the business model. If they like it, I just put them all under you. So I took off that weight off your shoulders, right?
I see.
And so I'll just put them under you, and then let's get that 6, because this is what's going to happen. The money gets loaded into your back office into what you call an e-wallet, right? And so when that money gets into your e-wallet, when the system 30 days rolls around, when that money's in there, guess what? It takes from the system, not from your card.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. I haven't even told my husband that I was looking into this, so I would like to talk to him about it.
Okay. I think what would be a great idea is, because you do have a husband, let's maybe set up an appointment for me to explain it for both of you. That would be awesome. So that way, wholeheartedly, he knows everything that we have.
Okay.
I think that would be a great idea, depending on like where you're at, like, mentally. Is this something like, hey, you know what? I think I can do this. Or like, you could be like, hey, you know what? This is freaking awesome. I want to do this. Or you could be like, well, I'm kind of on the fence. Where would you say you are?
I think I could do this.
Okay. If you feel like you can definitely do this, then I know that you can do it. You know what I mean? Because this is what's going to happen. Okay. Let me kind of like touch on how it goes down. As soon as you come on board, I walk you through your first steps. I introduce you to the entire Facebook family. And then I'm going to walk you through your back office and get you through your first certification process. And then from there, we're going to get you started in the academy. Of course, there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve, because the whole entire travel universe is going to be completely opened up to you. And so when that happens, obviously it can be like, whoa, it's kind of like it's like preparing taxes for the first time. What the hell am I doing? You know what I mean? Like, where do I even start? Right. So that being said, what is going to be pretty amazing is that when it comes to taxes and tax returns, this is seriously going to be extremely lucrative. We just got to fast track your learning process, because people are going to start shopping pretty quick. So when they do, it's like, oh my gosh. And so if I can kind of highlight what it would look like, the moment that you announce that you're a travel professional, get ready. Because what's going to happen is they're going to all hit you up, say, Lori, I didn't know you're a travel agent. I didn't know that's what you're doing now. I'm planning on going to, after your taxes and I get my tax return, I'm planning on going to Hawaii. Can you do that for me? Well, what's your budget? And then, you'll learn all the line of questioning that you need to ask. And then, of course, what's going to happen is you're going to get bombarded with people. And what's really cool is you're going to start making money. So ideally, we want to get you start making money right away. So that way, you know how real this thing really is.
Okay, that sounds wonderful.
Okay, so now the only thing that's left is obviously your husband. And so I'm guessing tonight's is gonna be a complete no-go, because it's already getting late. It's already 7 p.m. my time. Yeah. And so when should we reconvene?
He's laying tile floor at my daughter's house, so hasn't been home much.
Okay.
But I know he's going to be completing that next week.
Okay.
Could we is next Wednesday all right?
Okay, let's go ahead and do that.
What do you have?
Well, I'm usually my schedule gets booked like within like 2 or 3 days. So if
Okay.
if you're going as far as next week, then that's no problem. That's never an issue.
I just know he doesn't come home until like 7, 8 o'clock at night. He's not home yet.
Right. And he's going to be busted tired.
Right. And he's tired and he doesn't want to.
You don't want to talk to nobody. Right.
So that's why I want to get past that.
Okay. And then is your husband more like a supportive kind of guy, or is he like, is it a hard no? So I know what I'm going to get myself into.
He's supportive of something I believe in, but
Okay.
He's a skeptic.
Right. Well, then if he's a skeptic, that in turn makes you a skeptic. I have so many skeptics. But, you know, the idea, I'll tell you what, let's at least what we can do is be friends on Facebook.
Okay.
And then from there, what I will do is I will also add you to our Facebook group, which is Rising Tide.
Okay.
Okay. And how do I find you? Lori.
No, I'm not near my computer. It's just Lori Shaler. That's all it is.
Taylor?
Shaler.
Shaler.
Its first name is Laurie. Last name S as in Sam.
Yep.
CHEITLER.
Oh. Scheitler? SHEITLER? SCH. I see. ASCH. EIT.
LER.
Got it. There's not going to be many of you. Hey, you're already looking really good when it comes to what do you call it? Marketing, because your profile picture is of you in between some rocks.
Yeah, I was hiking.
Right. Are you it looks like you're quite a traveler.
We do like to travel a lot.
Okay.
Most of it's by car.
Got it. Well, in any event, should you guys, oh, you're a coach at Genetics? What is that?
It's a weight loss program.
Oh, okay. So you're also a coach too.
Yeah, it's part-time.
Well, it seems like you're pretty much an entrepreneur yourself.
Yeah, somewhat.
Okay. All right. So, all right. I sent you a friend request, and then upon right, and then upon approval, what I will do is I will also add you into a group page called Rising Tide Travel. Okay. And then that way you jump in there. You can actually eyeball some of the things that we do, and you can actually see that everything I have said is uphold and true. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. And it's been a pleasure meeting you. And then I got you down for next Wednesday. And
but you didn't say a time. What time did?
Yeah. What would be an ideal time?
5 o'clock.
We're both Pacific Standard Time, right?
Well, I'm on the other side of Las Vegas. I don't think I'm much further away.
Right. Okay. Well, you got a 712. Right. You got a 712. So I sometimes I have to make sure.
I'm sorry.
No.
It's just the phone. It's just the phone number. That's all.
Right. Okay. All right. So I would think that your husband is going to be nice and chill, and not getting off of work. I don't want to catch him on his bad side when he's all grumpy, because I know I'm a man and I do laborious work. When I do that,
if there's any reason that night isn't going to work, I'll let you know ahead of time.
Sounds good. Okay. So
and I continue to use the same phone number, right? Your 702-580-1274.
702-287-5170.
Oh.
Yeah. That should be the
287.
Uh-huh.
And what was the last four?
5170.
5170. Okay. So it's not the number you called me from. That's why.
No, it is. If you look at the phone number that I'm calling you right now, like on your phone.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah. No, that's my number. That's my direct number. That's everything that I do. I've had this number for the last, I want to say 15 years. So it's never good.
702-287-5170. I see it.
That's it.
Okay.
All right.
Good, Charles.
Perfect.
We'll talk to you on Wednesday, if not before.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Talk to you soon.
time.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, all right. That's my pitch. That's what I do. And so at the end result there, I went over this in my class, team building class. It's always going to be 3 results that I don't get to close right then and there. The main objections is going to be I have to think about it, as well as I need to talk to my spouse. So it looks like I turned her over because she did go into pyramid scheme. And then I went the direction of having to educate her about pyramid scheme, right? To educate her about that. And the first thing I did was relate with her. And then I had to overcome that objection. And also another thing is that I read her, and I read her kind of like tonality that she wasn't feeling the team building part. And so I went through it as fast as I could to just basically, not leave out that information. And then I went back to the emphasis on the travel agency. So that way her mind can be shifted to where she's comfortable, right? And that's what I did. Now, the other thing is I wanted to bring her on board. And of course, there's always going to be multiple results. Is everyone going to come on board? I feel that if she didn't have someone to corroborate with, she probably would have came on board herself. The thing is when we bring people on board, we're going to get a lot of people that are married, and that's just the way it is. And I absolutely 100% honor anyone who needs to confer with their spouse. And at the same token, if you can get the spouse to explain it to both of them at the same time, that is definitely the way to go. So that way you win both of them over, and it's much easier to get the decision in right away. Okay. All right. That is my entire pitch. Of course, I would have loved to get the sign up right then and there, but in my opinion, it doesn't matter because that pitch never changes. It's the same thing. I think also a great thing that you guys experienced watching this video is the objection that took place, which is when she actually said the word pyramid scheme. And so I, wanted to immediately crush that and get that, out of the way. All right. So there it is. That is my pitch, down and dirty. What would have been the other way? As the close, let's say, for instance, she didn't say, I have to talk to my wife. She says, I like it. This is awesome. Then what I'm going to ask her is, does this all make sense to you? Like, see, here's 2 directions that it's going to go. Is I got to talk to my spouse. Oh, I have to think about it. Or the 69. Well, you got 2 objections, right? We took care of the 69.95 too. All right, so that's done. But if the expected result was, I like it, what do I do next? Right? And if she says that, then, and I read her body language as, hey, this is awesome. This is great. This is good. I can use this. And the meter is super high that I feel like she's going to come on board. Then what I say is, all right, Lori, does this all make sense to you? And she says, yes, this all makes sense. Then my following line is, okay, great. I guess the only thing that's left to say is, welcome aboard. Okay. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is bring you on board myself, and I will just ask you a few basic questions and get you into the system. Okay. And this is what all I need. is, and then what you're going to do is go here, okay? Go to your site, go to sign up. Get ready to fill it in. You have it locked and ready to go, whoever you're doing it for or whatever. Okay, Lori, what's your first name? Lori, okay. And then last name. Okay. And I already know she's a female. I'm going to skip this. I'm going to skip all three of these things right now because I want her to give me the information that she's comfortable giving me. This is a little bit sensitive. This could be a little bit sensitive too. It's kind of like going straight into it without, you know, like I want to warm up to her giving me this information. So I'm going to go ahead and skip this. And I'm going to say, okay, what's your name? What's your last name? Female. Okay. And what is a good email address? Okay. And what is the phone number that we will be associating it with? Perfect. And what is a good mailing address? Okay. All right. And what is a good zip code? Okay. And how exciting, but what do you want to name your site? Okay. Sasha's Travel. Perfect. That sounds great. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and give them a password myself. And it would be, mine is always going to be freedom because it's a subliminal message that I want them to always chase freedom no matter what. Okay. So I'm setting up her own password. She could always change it out or whatever. Okay. Now I'm ready to get this and then this. I'm going to get this one first. And what is your birthday? So by the time she gives me this, she knows what's going on. I'm putting her in the system. So we've established Sasha's Travel. And, you know, if she's having a hard time thinking of a site name, just know that this is all interchangeable. So what I say is, just so you know, Lori, you can completely swap it out like a t-shirt. So if you come up with something clever later, go ahead and just swap it out, okay? Oh, well, in that case, let's just put Sasha's Travel for now, okay? All right, and date of birth. Okay, and social security. Perfect. All right. And let's get this through. Now, by checking this box, you agree to the independent contractor agreement with Archer Travel Services. You also agree to the terms and conditions. And you also understand that you have a 10-day money-back guarantee. Okay? They say yes all the time. Click next. Make sure you verify all of the information. And then upon completion, okay, how do you want to get started? Visa or MasterCard? Okay. Punch in the number. Okay. Expiration date, the 3 numbers in the back. Perfect. Yay, welcome aboard. The next screen should be that they get an agent ID number. When they get the agent ID number, please screenshot the agent ID number. Okay. And then connect with them on Facebook thereafter. You guys must be friends because you're going to tag them. And if you're not introducing them, send them to me. Give me their agent ID numbers. So that way I can give you a raffle ticket for the $500 drawing. And then, of course, on top of that, whatchamacallit, friend request them or make sure you narrow that down. Get the friend request. Get them to accept it. And then make sure that you invite them to Rising Tide Travel and Evolution Travel. So that way that they're already in the system, and make sure that they accept the invite while you have them on the phone. Okay. So then after that, have them log in. Okay. Have them log in to myevolutiontravel.com. Send them the link to the chat line in the direct conversation. Okay. And then once you have them logged in, they will have to go through the user agreement. And once they've agreed to go in, they have to sign their name. So they agree to the terms and conditions. And then you're going to walk them through. The PTA training program. Okay. And then say that is your first order of business. That is what you need to get completed. And then, of course, make sure that they get the Travel Agent Academy and, of course, the JOT form. So that way, not only can they get their investment back, but they can also get their first month's paid off if they get all of that stuff completed within the first month. That is it. That's what I do. This demonstration is now officially have been completed. Bye.